One of the questions that we got on one of our videos was, can you talk about how to aim on the golf course? And so I'm going to go over that. And I'm also going to include in this how to develop a pre-shot routine. If you don't have a pre-shot routine, it's crucial that you learn to get one. And you have to practice your routine, because that's how it becomes routine, is by doing it the same thing over and over. So you have to go through your routine on each shot you hit at the driving range, as well as each shot you hit on the golf course. So develop a pre-shot routine. The tour players are sticklers on it. If you had a stopwatch when it's Tiger Woods' turn to hit, and you click the stopwatch on and then off when he makes contact with the ball, you will see he's within a second on every shot of the exact same time it takes him to hit a ball. So the best players in the world are meticulous on a routine. If you don't have one, get one. It should only last 30 seconds or less. If you're a competitive player watching this, your routine has to be less than 30 seconds. If you know your routine's less than 30 seconds, it does not matter if your group's out of position and they put you on the clock. You can't get a penalty if you're under 30 seconds. And it takes the pressure off of you if you know that. So develop a routine less than 30 seconds. Other sports have great routines. Believe it or not, looking at me, I was a pretty good basketball player growing up, and I could really shoot. Great free throw shooter. Spin the ball, 1, 2, 3, dribbles, shoot. Spin the ball, 1, 2, 3, dribbles, shoot. Watch great free throw shooters. They do the same thing every time. No different than a golfer. Develop your own routine. You'll probably have a different one for putting than you do full swing, for chipping than you do full swing. So you might have to develop 3 different routines, but if you'll do that, you'll become a much better player. The purpose of a routine is to get so focused on it that you're doing the same thing over and over that it doesn't let nervous thoughts come into your head. So there's a purpose for a routine, and it's for you not to think too much over the golf ball and just react. So keep that in mind. So I'm going to go through my routine. I'm going to show you how I do it. It's pretty much patterned after what Ben Hogan would do. And most of the tour players have copied what Hogan did. Nicklaus, for instance, copied what Hogan did. You need to learn to get behind the ball on your target line and pick out an intermediate target. I try to pick out something obvious that I can find when I go step in and around and address the ball. Sometimes it may be a foot away from the ball. Sometimes it might be 10 or 15 feet in front of the ball. But I'm going to find something obvious that I can find when I take my stance. So it doesn't have to be 2 feet away from the ball every time. Pick out the most obvious thing to aim at, and it'll help you. So as I stand here on our driving range at Old Hickory, and I'm going to go towards the yellow flag, as I stand behind my ball, I can see that out here in front, there's 2 divots, one right here and right here, that are on my target line. And so once I find that and I stand behind the ball, almost all tour players, if you watch on TV, always get behind their ball and look down their target line. They're picking out an intermediate target. They're also visualizing or imagining the shape of their shot and the trajectory of their shot. I always paid attention to the trajectory, and I'd often kind of pick up a cloud up in the sky that would be the perfect apex for my shot. Especially if I need to hit a high shot, I'm going to pick out a high cloud, and if I'm on a windy day and trying to hit knockdown shots, my cloud might be a lot lower. But I'm going to visualize the flight of the ball that I want. And so I've picked out my divots out in front, and I'm going to aim my club face right at those divots. You'll notice I've stepped in with my right foot. What I've done with that is I match up the insole of my foot with the leading edge of an iron, the top edge of a driver. That's very important. It's different with woods than irons. And I'm going to have that matched up. If that is parallel to my leading edge with both feet, I am going to be 90 degrees and parallel to my target line left. So I pick out my spot, my foot and my club face match up, I adjust my ball position, and I'm going to be square to my target. That's the best way to learn to aim. It's the most predictable way to do it day in and day out on the golf course. Two of my favorite instructors are Pia Nielsen and Lynn Marriott, and they were formerly the Swedish national golf coaches. And they've got some great books, mostly on how to practice in the mental side of the game, but also some swing instruction. They're recognized as some of the top instructors in the world, and their books are a pleasure to read. One concept in their books that I've learned that I think's helped a lot of my players is they actually, when you go to one of their courses, with paint, they'll paint a square back here with spray paint, and then they'll paint another square over here where they would address the ball. This box is called the think box, and that box is called the play box. So you're allowed to think about anything you want to think about when you're behind the ball in this thinking box. What your swing position might feel like, what the wind's doing, what club I'm going to use, whatever it is you're thinking about to perform on this shot. But once you get over here in the play box, you go through your routine and there's no thinking and you react to the ball. So check them out. They're great. Got some great books, great stuff online, and you'll learn a lot from them. A lot of players have. So I'll go through my routine quickly. It's under 30 seconds. This is how I would play on the golf course. Not bad.